Hello and welcome to another video where in this session I'll be running through double entry bookkeeping. Double entry bookkeeping is the backbone of how accounting functions and therefore an essential part of your learning. Every transaction that is entered into the general ledger must have a debit entry and credit entry, and this is referred to as the dual effect of accounting. For example, a business makes a sale of £1,000. This would increase the business's sales by £1,000 and increase the business's bank balance by £1,000. Or a business makes a purchase of £500. This would increase the business's purchases by £500 and decrease the business's bank balance by £500. The two effects of each transaction need to be recorded in the accounts of the business. This would take place within the general ledger, also referred to as the nominal ledger. It's also worth noting that nowadays, although most businesses use digital accounting software rather than manual bookkeeping, the principles remain exactly the same. Each double entry bookkeeping transaction that takes place will have an appropriate account within the general ledger, and every account will have two sides, a debit side and a credit side. The debit side will always be on the left side of the account and the credit side will always be on the right side of the account. The easiest way to visualize this is through what we call a T account. Take a look at the example on screen now. We can see that we have the account name at the top, the debit side on the left, often shortened to DR, and the credit side on the right, often shortened to CR. This will be the same for any account within the general ledger. So for every transaction that a business makes, there must be a debit in one ledger account and an equal and opposite credit entry in another ledger account. Hopefully at this stage that all makes sense. The challenging part is now learning how different types of accounts behave. Specifically, what accounts increase in value with a debit and which accounts increase in value with a credit. There are multiple ways in which you can learn this, however my personal preference is using the mnemonic pearls. The account categories that increase in value with a debit and decrease in value with a credit are purchases, expenses and assets. The account categories that increase in value with a credit and decrease in value with a debit are revenue or sales, liabilities and shares or capital. Being able to categorize accounts into these above categories is an essential skill to have, and it will make your life significantly easier. I also want to really impress that every account can be debited or credited. It's down to whether it increases or decreases the value of the account. Let's take a look at some simple examples to demonstrate this. A business makes a sale of £2,000. The accounts involved in this would be the sales account and the bank account. Firstly, categorise the accounts, so sales will be classed as revenue and the bank will be classed as an asset. Now think about what we want to happen in both of these accounts. We want to increase the value in our sales account and increase the value in the bank account. It would therefore be a debit to the bank account for £2,000 and a credit to the sales account for £2,000. Let's now have a look at another example. A business buys office stationery of £180. Again, think about the account categories. The purchase of office stationery would be classed as an expense to the business and the bank would be an asset. This would be recorded as an increase to the office stationery account and a decrease to the business bank account. It would therefore be debit office stationery for £180 and credit the bank account for £180. To sum up the process then, this would be 1. Categorise the account, 2. Determine whether it's an increase or decrease to the value of the account, and 3. Debit and credit the relevant account based upon steps 1 and 2. Being able to apply this approach to any transaction the business makes will allow you to record the double entry successfully. And that wraps up my video on double entry bookkeeping. Hopefully you found it useful, and if you have, drop the video a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.